So let me show you what I got when I did this. I reached in and grabbed a whole bunch, and I had 6 plus tiles and 4 minus tiles. So the value of mine, all of these are going to zero each other out, right? So what's the value of mine going to be? 2. So if you took a bigger handful of tiles, do you think you'd have a better chance of getting a higher value?
No.
It kind of depends, right? What if you drew out a whole bunch of negatives to start with, and there's an equal number of negatives and positives in each bag? If you drew more, probably, well, not necessarily, but probably you have a better chance of increasing than decreasing. Okay, so for each of these, I want you to build it with the tiles. Yes, I know that many of you, you're like, really? I can do this in my head. I understand. I really do. Build it with the tiles. Record the diagram, just like they have here, and write your answer. So the first one's already done for you, so start with B. So in case you're like, wait a minute, that one has both negatives, you're going to start with 5 negatives plus 3 more negatives. All right? Is anything going to zero out in that case? No. All right? So build it, draw it, find the values. Bless you. Nice. I like thunderstorms. Well, at least if I'm inside, I like thunderstorms.
No, whenever you're outside.
Maybe it's environment as long as it's yeah, this one no, that was plus stress. Oh yeah, so
No, you don't want to do that.
yeah, but it's like if it was
All right. Shh. All right, I ran through this really quickly because I cheated and I didn't actually make them. And I know that you guys know the rules for doing these, but I want to talk a little bit about, well, why does this work out the way that it does? Okay, so why is -5 plus -3, why is that going to be -8? How can we describe what that's doing? Yes?
It's because you're adding like two negatives together, making it go like backwards in the number line.
Yeah. And so, Sophia. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, if you think about it in terms of motion, you're moving to the left 5 and then you're moving to the left another 3. So that's more left. The way that I think about it is this: I'm adding two negatives, it's the same kinds of things. They work together, right? Adding negatives to more negatives, they're working together. As opposed to part C, I'm adding a positive and a negative. Do those work in the same direction? +2 and -4, same direction or opposite directions? They're opposites. They're opposite directions. +2 on a number line, at least, is going to be to the right. -4 is going to be to the left. They're working against each other. When they're working against each other, there's a lot of stuff that cancels out. There are 2 more negatives than there are positives. You can think about it that way. Okay? So in this class, one of the things that may be different than from some of your other math classes that you may have had is we're always going to talk about why and how to think about it. Why do we do that? Because a lot of times what we do goes way beyond this class. It's not just about how do I get the right answer. Believe it or not, math is not just about getting the right answer. There's a whole lot more to it than that. All right? Any questions? Okay, then remember that you have a quiz tomorrow, and it is over. Let's see. Sections 124 to 128 out of the book. So that's the last half of chapter 1. You may want to look back at those homework assignments to make sure you know how to do all of that stuff. I'll come by in just a second and pick up the bags. So please go ahead and put all the plus minuses back into the bag.